Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Powerwash Buddies. We are here today with our good friend Whistler. Whistler, hello. He said before that I was the queen of the streams, so therefore I gotta stand on the footstool. But Whistler, would you like to introduce yourself? Please introduce yourself to the podcast.
Yeah, well, hello everybody. I'm Whistler Place. I'm one of two parts of a Soul Link that first met Joy. I want to say back in April.
It was in May.
Absolutely. So mostly for pretty much exclusively Pokemon streamer, increasingly spicing it up with things like Spider-Man, and in this case, of course, right in the demographic. Powerwash Buddies, which I'm very excited to play. I've never played it before, so I'm expecting people to laugh and ridicule me.
I'm really excited. I'm so excited to have you here. But I'm glad that you mentioned you coming in to my stream. Whistler and Grant are kind of like the whole reason that I hit affiliate to begin with. So thank you for that, man. I really appreciate that.
Oh well, I'm going to disagree with you there. You're the reason you hit affiliate. We're just the communities that first got the pleasure of meeting you.
I appreciate it. I can't start crying as soon as I get here, but you know, that's okay.
Well, in fairness, I'm splashing water in your face, so just blame it on.
Thank you. I'll just blame it on the water. It'll be okay.
You're not crying. It's actually just me.
So yeah, like you talked a little bit about like what your streams are about and stuff, but like as we start washing, would you like to elaborate some more on like what you do on your side of Twitch? What do you like to do? What is your favorite things to do on your side of Twitch?
I just thought I'd come over because I want you to witness my first ever bit of cleaning.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Buddies, so so you see this little arm over here, little arm here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do from there over to there
I'm so excited.
one nice swoop. Okay, get ready.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
That was a good feeling. Let's do it again.
Right, you can have the cactus. It's okay.
Excuse me.
I'll have this barrel.
No. I will. Oh, there's a whole cactus over here just for me. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm addicted already. Oh, I have to play more. I will never stop.
I love this.
But in answer to the question, so I'm as I mentioned, I'm sort of pretty much an exclusively Pokemon streamer. I sort of, as I said, I'm trying to branch out a little bit and become a little bit more of a variety streamer because not for sort of any sort of numbers or anything, but more because I think I always feel like I'm most entertaining / interesting, and I have the most fun when I'm having fun. So I want to continue to play games that I have fun in. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I completely agree. So, that's why I keep doing like a bunch of like variety content and just like I like doing streams with other people just because I like having that sense of community. And I talked about this with Apple as well, but I really like doing streams where I can talk to other people and have fun with them as well because I'm very much a people person. So
yeah, absolutely. Me too, my friend. Way to be. I just want on record, I've just done my first cactus. I got 200 quid. So, you're officially streaming with a big deal. Don't want to brag too much.
That is a big deal.
This guy's sick.
Yes, also, for anyone listening currently, Whistler currently is very ill, but this is his first stream back to the side of Twitch, so please be patient, everyone, if some things seem late or if Whistler's dying.
Yes. No, I appreciate it. Now I'm currently still in my room, sort of self-isolating from COVID, so we're sort of hopefully test negative tomorrow, and I can sort of come out and about a little bit, which will be nice. But yeah, this has been one of the things I really look forward to, getting my voice to a passable level. for some reason recently, I just seem to be losing my voice like crazy all the time. And I don't get it, and I want to know what's up. And do you know what? I'm having fun with this though. People can hear me, which is a good or bad thing depending on your perspective.
I think it's a great thing.
We're rocking and rolling.
Woo!
Yeah, we are.
I am really jazzed today. I don't know, my brain is just really going. So I also
are we
apologize
good jazz
for
or
that.
bad jazz?
Good jazz. Good jazz. It's always a good jazz.
I was gonna say there's no such thing as bad jazz in my experience.
No, it's a really good jazz. But yeah. Also, as we start to like get further into our podcast, I asked this question to everybody just because I really want to know, and I've been on a learning journey with it as well. But like, what motivates you? What is like your main like thing that you have like in your brain that gets you going in the morning?
Probably can't say nothing, can I? No, I think for me, my greatest sort of driver is making other people happy, which sounds really soppy and cringe, and it is. But then I am myself soppy and cringe, so it's kind of par for the course a little bit. I get my biggest happiness is from making other people happy or positively contributing to other people, right? So, for example, I play in a sports team. I'm absolutely crazy about my sports. I always have been, always will be, I suspect, to hopefully the excitement of my future wife, but I suspect detriment. But anyway, so I've always been sports crazy. I love my sports, and I've played sport pretty much my entire life, all the way through, and all the way through school and everything else, and I have lots of happy memories. My happiest memory, probably of sport, was a friend of mine had never played the sport before, and we created a team, and we were playing cricket, and he hit a 50, having never played about 3 months before then, and that was probably the most I've ever enjoyed a sports moment.
Yeah.
And it was lovely because I was like, because it was about the time that we put in together, and that I always tend to enjoy things as groups and individuals, for sure. So yeah, I mean, is making other people happy too cringe? Probably, but there we go.
I don't think it's too cringe, because that would also be my answer.
Well, there we go. Great minds.
Yeah. It's definitely something that's during my self journey to find like what's like should be motivating me in life. That's kind of where I've kind of landed, just a little bit. So it's a little gratifying to hear that someone else is feeling the same way. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Oh, I've just clocked. So when you clean something, I get a notification too. I think. Because I was just thinking to myself, damn, you're doing well. You're getting stuff clean that you didn't even know you were cleaning. But nope.
No, we're working together. It's teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It does. Yeah, so like Whistler, I know some things about like what your favorite things are. But only like a couple things. Like I know that you like Spider-Man, and I know
I do.
that you like Star Wars, and
I certainly do.
I know you like Lord of the Rings, which are all three things that I'm really jazzed about all the time. But now that I know that you like sports too, which is fun, but like what are some other things that like Mr. Whistler loves to do?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a weird one. I was sort of saying that, when you think about sort of people growing up and like when you've got your group of mates, so everyone's got groups, right? You've got like, the cool kids, you've got the jocks, you've got the nerds, you've got all kinds of things. I've always sort of just been all of them. I'm always, so for example, I love my sports, but I also love my nerdy stuff. I love going out and hitting beverages with the lads after work, but I also really enjoy getting home to watching Star Wars or something, you know.
Mm.
So honestly, I'm really passionate about film. I love films.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a film critic for the longest time, um, and I think the reason I didn't is because, like, you know, when you get too close to something, and you're like, actually, I felt like if I was going to become a film critic, which is what I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
you then lose the enjoyment for what it is that you're doing there because you're watching potentially some amazing films, like from a very professional
Mm-hmm.
landscape, and it sort of takes away a bit of the love for it a little bit. So
Yeah.
so films and TV for sure is a big one. I don't necessarily watch as much as I used to, and I'd like to sort of get a little bit back on that horse. But yeah, I love me with some TV, for sure. So Lord of the Rings you've touched on,
Mm-hmm.
of course, one of the most formative trilogies of my childhood, and indeed ever, I would
Me
argue.
too.
But
Me too.
I'm sure there'll be people who furiously debate that. If because you did ask me in advance if there's anything that I'm uncomfortable talking about, I am uncomfortable talking about the idea that the Hobbit trilogy belongs in the same category as the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So we just can
I.
pretend that they don't exist.
All right. I'll keep.
If
I'll
that's
keep
all,
my.
if
I'll
it's all
keep
the
my
same to you,
opinions to myself.
yeah. Because I've rarely been so disappointed in the cinema than when I was watching those. But we move on. We don't need to
Mm-hmm.
discuss them. But yes, I love my Lord of the Rings. I think it's sports a big thing because again, it's all based around people, right? I love
Mm-hmm.
doing things that other people can sort of get behind or share that appreciation for. So, you know, when you think about some average start talking points to a new colleague, let's say at work, or potential new mate, or even on a date, and what do you go to first? You go to, oh, okay, well, what films do you like? What sports do you like?
Mm-hmm.
What maybe not what games you like, but it depends on who you're on a date with and how
Yeah.
cool they are. Um, um, but again, that the premise is that it's all. I really enjoy stuff that brings people together. I guess so I can
Mm-hmm.
go and talk to Joe Blogs on the street and say, hey, Joe Blogs, what do you think of the football last night? And he'd be like, oh, do you know what? We were terrible, and I hate everything to do with Chelsea. And I'd be like, fair enough, mate. But that's, you know, having no reference point for him at all or her, then that's a conversation you can just start to have immediately.
Mm.
And same with same with you know, film and to a lesser extent games, but increasingly so. Obviously, one of the side effects of Twitch is when I now say, has anyone got any good game recommendations? My opinion doesn't come from 2 or 3 people; it comes from potentially 200 people, which is nice.
That's so
Um,
nice.
yeah, it's lovely. So yeah, lots of waffle to say. I basically enjoy everything. I love me some food, as it will not shock anyone to know who's seen me on stream. I love my pints. I love my lads. I like my gaming. I like my chill nights in. I'm increasingly boring, I will admit. So I love me a night in at this point. I think one of my challenges for the new year is to get back on the reading vibe. Like I
Mm.
love reading and getting engrossed in books, but I haven't done
Me
it enough of late.
too. So I am so like okay. So Lawrence and I are becoming that silly little couple that reads together. Um which is really cute if you ask my mom. But my mom keeps sending
Are
me
you
books.
70 years too early for that?
My mom keeps like sending me books because my mom is a book influencer on Instagram. Not to flex
Oh,
or
very
anything,
cool.
but my mom is a book influencer on Instagram. Um, but
And my mum's not, so there.
and so she keeps like sending me like books and like book recommendations to like what she thinks that like we would like and stuff. And I will be completely honest, we still have not finished the book that we promised ourselves to read this year. So
There's still time.
yeah, there's still time, but
It
we're
might be
getting there.
intense, but there's still time.
But I do want to touch on a little bit of like what you were talking about earlier with your film critic stuff. Because I totally understand. For about 2 or 3 years, during my like dance training and stuff, there was a point in time that I was like, do I really want to keep doing this? Is this really like, am I really happy with this? And then like I was literally at the studio more than I was at my house. And like I doubt my parents like know this, but like I definitely had like those thoughts of being like, I don't know if I really want to keep doing this for the rest of my life, which would have literally killed me. So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, like now that I'm doing it for like work and stuff, I'm having a blast. This is all I've wanted to ever do in my life, but I definitely understand like where you're coming from with your like your, what's the word?
Film criticness.
Yeah, that.
That's also one reason I couldn't make it as a film critic. I can't speak English properly.
My brain lags, so I don't think I could do it either.
Yeah, you can't go, Your Honor, I'm sorry, it's a skill issue.
I'm
when
sorry.
Trying to speak in court.
Your Honor, I didn't mean it. Your Majesty, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like all the things I wanted to do growing up were all basically on the premise of either being somewhat social or connecting with people in some way. So, for example, I only ever really wanted to be either a stand-up comedian.
Oh, fun! I love
which
that.
I'd always wanted to be. And then you grow up and you realise how difficult it is to do, and you're like, you know what? You're funny. You think you're funny, but you're probably not funny enough to do it.
I think you're funny enough to do it.
Oh, you're so kind, honestly. But yeah, so stand-up comedian, teacher, lawyer, or police officer were sort of my four things, or TV show host, or something like that.
I think that you'd make a wonderful TV show host. Why haven't they given Mr. Whistler a late night show yet? Huh?
It's in the works. Who knows? One day. late night with Whistler Plays.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I would watch that constantly.
Oh, you're too kind, my friend. You're too kind. But yeah, you said there's a theme to all of those particular avenues of work. So there's all been stuff I've always liked to sort of not necessarily say help people, because it sounds really cringe and sappy and want to be a martyr-y kind of stuff. But it's more that just I get my enjoyment from others more so than from anything in particular that I'm doing at a given point in time. So, like, I, for example, having started Baldur's Gate 3, I'll want to go and see, did any of my mates or streamers play Baldur's Gate 3? What were their choices? What have they been up to? What class did they pick? I'm interested in much more than what other people are doing, I guess.
I'm romancing Shadowheart, if you wanted to know.
Oh, so am I.
Oh,
absolutely.
See,
Shadowheart's babe.
She's amazing. I love my moody little moonlight princess. I love her.
Yeah. It was quite funny when I started. I was like, right, so Mass Effect is my favourite ever game, and I'm sure everyone who's ever watched a stream of mine will know that Mass Effect has a very special place in my heart. So I was like, right, you do this every time, Whistler. Don't romance the first character that you meet that looks like they look vaguely human. And then I saw Shadowheart. I was like, well, that's that.
It's out of the window now.
So it's just like, I'm a religious zealot who likes killing people in the name of a goddess. Well, sign me up, it seems.
Me too. I get it. I'm in. I'm all in.
My friend and I were saying that there's something with this weird fascination with women who quite like killing, it seems, when we play our games. So it's like, we probably should get that linked in too, but I'll let a professional do that.
Maybe like a little bit of a therapy session, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a few, maybe quite a long time. But why do I fancy people who you could beat me up?
The therapist goes, well, sir, you see, Dami mommies.
Yeah, okay. So, well, that's not strictly what I meant. I mean, excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to go for a beer. See you later. Oh, what a waste of money this has been.
And then you pay them extra money to keep quiet.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, right. Having now told you that, and I know you're completely wrong, but although you are completely wrong, I would really appreciate it if you never told anyone ever. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
I love that. I was wondering though, do you know like your Myers-Briggs like personality type?
Oh no, someone made me do one once, and I can't remember. I'm sure I could go back through my emails and try and find it. Let me do that. Let me do that. Right, I'm gonna let you down on the old.
It seems like that we're like very similar in like personality types and like things. But mine is ENFP. Just let you guys know. Let it be out there.
Okay, mine's ESFJ.
Oh, nice.
What does that mean? I forgot.
So, the E is for like extrovert, so like you get your energy from other people. That's what that extrovert means. The S, I don't remember what that's for. It's the opposite of whatever the it is.
Sentinel is my role. So my traits are extroverted, observant, feeling, judging, and turbulent.
Wonderful.
Which I never said I was judgy, but I was only 53% on that one, so I was like,
okay.
you know what, I'll take that.
Wonderful.
But yeah, generally that seems about right.
I was just wondering, because every time that like I talk to like people that are like, yeah, like I love like talking to other people and I love like being around other people, and I'm like, there has to be an E. The first letter of that thing has to be an E.
Yes, I can imagine.
Wow.
They're like, oh no, I don't actually like speaking to people. It's like, why did you tell me that then?
I love it. Oh, thanks for the hydrate. Mom, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mama Fish, for the hydrate. I'm gonna cash in on that one actually, since again, COVID things. I should probably.
Well, yeah, you're on stream with me, so it's legally required.
Yeah. Does it work both ways? So if someone asks for one of the accents on my channel, you have to do it instead because it's your stream?
Well, I'm not good at accents, unfortunately. I am a GM for like my dating sim game.
Okay.
My dating sim like tabletop role playing game. I am the GM for it, the game master. And
I was gonna say thank you for explaining that. So I was like,
really...
general manager, what's going on?
I'm not really great at accents. I can do a southern one because I grew up in the South.
Well, howdy do. That's fantastic.
But that's about it. That's all I got. I can't do anything else.
I mean, that's one thing I love about my channel is because everyone knows I'm so bad at accents. Then they can't be offensive because you can't guess where they're supposed to be from. So it's, from a cancellation process, it's arguably one of the safer things on my channel. My accent redeems, but yeah, I love accents. I just think they're just I think it's a similar thing for me that for like people who do fancy dress, right? I think it's more what it says about the person that does it rather than necessarily what it is you're doing, right? So when you go to a fancy dress party, so I want to hang out with the people who have put on like all the fancy dress stuff and love it because it's like, well, these are the people who don't take themselves seriously and like to have fun with stuff, and you know, they aren't the cool kids who are like, oh man, my jeans are enough, dude, leave it out, you know. Because apparently that's what I think cool kids sound like.
It is what cool kids sound like.
Yeah, right. I'm glad to know I'm not losing touch with the youth, despite my advancing years. But yeah, so it's a similar thing. Like if someone's silly enough to give it a go, I was like, yeah, that's my cup of tea. I feel like I know. Obviously, I shouldn't be asking you questions, but are you willing to give us a Voldemort laugh?
Yeah, I don't know how to really do it without like peeking my mic.
First things first, mic be damned. It's not a quiet noise.
What if I back up? What if I just like? Wait, okay, can you give me like an example? Maybe I can mimic it.
Okay, all right. I need to make sure my COVID is not going to ruin it.
Okay, I got it.
There we go. There we go. I love that.
Is that good? Was that good?
Oh,
That's
not
that
just
suffice?
good. It's flawless. That was
Okay.
outstanding. Excellent work, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no,
That is all for
please.
tonight,
No,
friends.
thank you.
Oh, man, wow,
Beautifully done.
that's the peak of my career.
Oh, that's what the peak of mine was as well.
Man, love that. Oh, there was something I was gonna say, and now I completely forgot what it was.
And that's my bad.
I will say that me and Mama Fish have had some conversations about you. They're all good. Don't worry, they're all good.
About me?
Yeah,
Ooh,
about
dear,
you.
Okay.
And
Well, I hope I've made a good impression with Mum. Oh, I should have worn a tie.
we have discussed that like you're like the British version of my brother, and I think like even now like you're just like the more extroverted version of my brother, and it's so wonderful.
I was going to say, I waited you to add the sentiment on there because you never know which way it goes with the family.
Yeah. No, I love my brother. Me and my brother are 9.5 months apart, and like basically have never been separated, really.
No.
So.
Well, that's
Yeah.
very flattering. I'm very grateful for that comparison.
And Mom likes to collect children, so apparently, welcome to our family, Whistler.
Hey, there we go. You know what? Sign me up.
But yeah, I was just
great
thinking
with
about
mums. The only consistent positive feedback I get from my ex-girlfriends is I get, "Oh, my mum's gonna miss you." I was like, "You're not." I was like, "Yeah, no, my mum
No,
will." I was like, "Oh,
my
great,
mom
thanks."
specifically.
Yeah, love you too, darling. But you know,
I keep joking with Lawrence, and like he keeps like sending me things. Speaking of which, Mom, if I can figure out how to download a video, I will send it to you. But there is a TikTok that Lawrence sent me that was this like boyfriend coming over for like the holidays to like the like girlfriend's house or whatever, and the mom like pushed past everyone and was like, "Oh my gosh, my favorite child," and went to go hug the boyfriend and like gave him
Sounds
2
about right.
kisses on the cheek. I was like, uh-huh.
It's like, okay, this is happening.
I was like, that is so my mom. That is so my mom
That's
with Lawrence.
amazing.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's all funny. Then someone will snap and be like, "What?" It's like,
Well,
"All right, sorry."
I love it. It's so funny. But yeah, like, I do want to talk a little bit. We'll talk briefly about this because, guys, if you, were not aware, Whistler, like, a month and a half ago, did another podcast, with our friend Max, and, they talked more in depth, really, about the whole wonderful, amazing Nuzlocke and Load tournament that was on Twitch for 2 months.
It was on for a long old time, wasn't it?
And so like I do want to talk a little briefly about that because that's like a huge part of you, and like that was like your whole your heart and soul and your baby. So I wanna know about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate you being very kind about it, for sure. Yeah, it was certainly a big old labour of love on my part, for sure. I think obviously there were, I'd be remiss to say there weren't people that helped. I've sort of been very vocal about C being a big part of getting the Discord up and running and all these little bits and pieces like that. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It was, to be honest, is the best way of putting it. Sort of, the nicest thing that I've seen is that, going back to what we were discussing earlier, is that the number of people who have sort of collabed with each other since, or invited me to collab with them and stuff, and And unfortunately, I haven't been able to do all of them. But
Mm-hmm.
just to be in that position where people have said, "I've enjoyed this so much, I'd like to sign up for the next one," or everyone's like, "Oh, when's the next one coming? When's the next one coming?" So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a tremendous success, and I'm very very proud of it. And it's a big effort getting there, but we got it done, and yeah, bring on Nuzlocke and Load 2 whenever that
Oh,
is. I mean, frankly, it's down to whenever my patients will let me, basically.
yeah,
'Cause
it's
it
valid.
was it was a draining thing to do. It was
Yeah.
amazing. I loved it, and I wouldn't have done it without it. But it was a lot of work too.
Well, I think that the like amount of work that you put into it really shows, and especially like all of the people who helped and stuff, like C's like assets that they put in were amazing, and I put them in my stream as well. Like I think that Nuzlocke and Load specifically was such a wonder for the Twitch community that I've never seen before.
That's awfully kind of you to say. Yeah, I felt like that, but then that's all. Obviously, I made a point of following everyone who signed up and watching them. So I was like, "There's so much Nuzlocke and Load going on."
Yeah,
But I
there's
was
so
like, "Well,
much
duh,
stuff.
you're looking for it."
Like,
It's like
one, yay, there's so much Nuzlocke and
mm,
Load going on, and two, oh my gosh, there's so much Nuzlocke and Load going on.
it's like, oh, what are the chances of that? For sure. But how did you find it?
I had a great time. I didn't get to
Mm,
play very much, unfortunately, because I had just started my new job whenever I
yeah.
got there. But
Oh, for sure.
the like few times I did, I had a great time, and I was just so distracted by Teddy Ursa, because first of all,
Mm.
I had never played Scarlet and Violet.
Which was very brave. You got to
Um,
salute the effort.
I went into that completely blind, and that Teddy Ursa that Caddy has, Teddy Ursa is one of my favorite Pokemon, and I got so distracted by his cute little hat that
I know.
Ugh.
I know. No, it was no, it was lovely to see. I think also like it was there were definitely a lot of people who I'd like to have been able to spend more time and watching them do it than I got the chance to. I mean, obviously time zones is a big thing, so
Yeah.
a lot of my American chums I didn't get the pleasure of spending much time with them and in their streams. But yeah, it was overall. I think we can say it was all right. And as
Yeah.
Blue says, second best event of the year.
What's the first best?
Mezzigo's a Munchfest, of course,
Oh, gotcha.
of course.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no, I certainly didn't think it would get as big as it did. That's for sure. I think one thing that's quite humbling about the whole thing is the number of people who have either asked me to do spin-offs or just people who have done it without asking me.
Oh.
So for sure, there's it's flattering that it's had that kind of impact, and people are saying, "When's the next one? When's the next one?" It's like, do I think we'll get 100 people again? Probably not, but it was awesome. I loved it.
I know that one of my like IRL friends is was so excited about the fact that there was going to be a Nuzlocke tournament, that he was trying everything in his power to get a capture card when he didn't have a job, to
Oh, bless.
stream, to try and stream for Nuzlocke and Load, and then as soon as like you like close like submissions and things, he finally got his capture card in.
Oh no!
So,
So I never closed submissions. So we had a
oh,
few people who joined mid-tournament. So that's my bad for not making that clearer. But yeah, we never closed submission. We were just like, if you, I think we had someone join on the last week, and we are like, oh, okay, cool, come
but
on
yeah, he we're trying to get him to start streaming. So maybe for two.
No, that's awesome.
Maybe for two, we'll have
Absolutely.
a joint stream of Joy and her friend playing Pokemon,
Yeah,
because he knows
be
a little
awesome.
bit too much and I know a little bit too nothing. So
Well, that's the thing, you know. There's a yin and a yang, isn't there, for a reason, right?
yeah.
But no, I think the initial premise of the tournament was basically for that exact scenario of people who'd never streamed before. You know, I got a lot of grief for certain rules that I made, but I made the rules on the basis that anyone who had never streamed before could film their Switch,
Yeah.
and still take part without breaking any rules. So it was very, very important to me that you know, that people who had never streamed were the priority, and first time Nuzlockers as well. Just because I think, you know, I think back to my start of Twitch, and actually, if it weren't for a huge raid, I probably wouldn't be here. Like to be a long time to get going. So I was like, well, if this tournament can do something similar for someone else, then hey, it's worth doing, right?
Whistler's all about that pay it forward kind of mentality, guys.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm all about just cashing in friendships.
That's what I'm here for. So,
Yeah, of course.
cash it in.
No, but I mean, jokes aside, though, it was a real privilege to do, and I'm glad that glad that I took the plunge and did it.
Yeah. I really love it. And like honestly, I will say this is the last thing I'm going to like really like touch on with Nuzlocke and Load, because I wanted to get to know more about you rather than you, the tournament creator. But like if it wasn't for Nuzlocke and Load and you creating this huge kind of thing, I would have not done the full push to do my thing that we are doing in January for my my stream anniversary.
Well, I mean, as I said to you previously, I think the raids are, you know, one thing, but I think it's the streamer that keeps people coming back, not the raids. So don't sell yourself short as well, you know.
Well, yeah,
You've
but
always
just
been a
like in the sense of like you creating this big event, like it made me also feel inspired and kind of ready to take that big step to make a like big event like that as well. Not really like in the sense of like it's a tournament, but like, you know. Hey guys, this is an announcement, by the way. On January 20th, for my stream anniversary, I will be doing an award show called the Joyfish Awards, and Whistler is a part of it.
Yeah, I am. Am I guest announcing an award, and have I got a teleprompter to tell me what to say so I stay on script?
Maybe. Love it.
No, it's really cool. It's a great idea. There's certainly nothing like that before. I will say I'm not going to nominate myself for anything because I don't know necessarily why. I'll have a think. The problem is I never clip anything, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh, watch this is to prove that I am I'm a dingle goof or whatever Grant is. But for sure, like, it's a really cool idea. And again, it's I think everyone's so fussed about sort of trying to do the next great thing that no one else has done before. And actually, often it's the simple things that people haven't done before, like Nuzlocks. Like everyone does them individually. Let's do them as a group. I've not seen anyone do an award show yet. We see award shows all the time. You know, it's a really good bit of inspiration from you, and it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing, watching, being a part of for sure.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, you
But
both.
on the terms of Pokemon,
Mm.
so I see your little Trico. Is Trico your favorite Pokemon?
Chico is my favorite Pokemon. Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, you could honestly say that entire line.
Mm.
You know, I think I've done a series of ranking videos. I think one of the things that I'm quite pleased with is that most of my opinions that I come out with, I don't generally get poo-pooed for that many.
Oh, that's good.
When it comes to mine. So, for example, I love Trico. I think it's the best Pokemon ever. But actually, even if you don't think that, there'll be people who will still be like, "Oh, that's quite cool," you know.
Yeah.
So, it's nice to know there's a little bit of synergy, I guess, with the wider world. Although, as Blue has said, Fennekin is fine, but Delphox and Braixen are just such poor Pokemon. It's so bad. That's the other thing about me on Twitch. I'm quite happy to share my opinion, but
Me too.
but I'll always do it in a nice way. I think there's way too many people who will be like, oh, I tell it how it is, I suppose, which for me translates to I can't be bothered to be nice about how I'm feeling, so I'm just going to tell you straight.
Exactly.
So for sure, like there's a few people at work like that who are like, oh, I just say it how I see it. It's like, well, you could make an effort to consider how other people see it, you know. So for example, when I tell someone that Fennekin is terrible, I'll be good enough to at least caveat with, this is just my opinion, and I know it's controversial.
Yeah. Fennekin's
sure.
so cute though. See, this is how I rank Pokemon,
Yeah.
is whether or not I would cuddle it. And Trico is one of the ones that I would cuddle.
good.
So,
Yeah, Snorlax has got to be out there.
Snorlax
do you know what it is?
and Skitty is my favorite Pokemon of all time. I love Skitty.
Oh, Gen 3 all the way.
But Skitty is my favorite Pokemon because A, she's a cat. B,
Absolutely.
she's cute. C, she's pink. D, she's also yellow. It's all of my
Yeah.
favorite things combined.
It basically is on brand.
Exactly.
No, I love that. Are you Skitty or Delcatty?
Skitty. Delcatty is
Where'd you stand
purple.
on-
She's alright, but
Yeah. She'll do, she's just not Skitty.
yeah, she's not Skitty.
Valid.
But it's got something so right with Skitty. Not Delcatty. Skitty.
Yeah. I think when it comes to favourite mons and stuff, I don't really necessarily have a theme as to why they are. I mean, it's going to sound like a very sort of basic B way of describing it, but I'll look at it and be like, I like that. Or I'll look at it and be like, that sucks. And and I don't know what triggers that response. For example, I love some Pokemon that I know that not many people have as one of their favourites. So, for example, Tauros is one of my favourites.
Oh,
Not
I
many
love
people-
that guy.
So do I. But not that many people. People would be like, "Oh, Taurus is quite cool" when you mention it. But when you ask, sort of like, "What's your favorite Pokemon?" Not many people will bring it up as like a category. You know what I mean? It's like it won't be proactively brought up. But if I say, "I like Taurus," they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, Taurus is cool." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Faux show.
I personally I'm really into Taurus only because I grew up in the South, as I previously mentioned. And my hometown is 30 minutes from a wildlife refuge.
Oh, nice.
Where there are tons and tons of buffalo. And I look at Taurus and I am reminded of that wildlife refuge. So I have a good time with him.
That's awesome. See, that's the thing. Is like, I wouldn't even necessarily say if someone said, "What's your favorite animal?" I would never come up with a buffalo, but for some reason, Taurus just looks awesome. Unfortunately, I've lost the clip, but I spent ages trying to find my first stream of Scarlet and Violet when you first see Nemones and the Paldean Tauros in that opening cutscene. And my reaction to it is like, "Oh my god, it's amazing! We've got another Tauros. What is it?" I've unfortunately not been able to find it, which is disappointing.
That's how I feel about my first streams too. My first Stardew streams are gone. I have no idea where they are. They're missing.
Yeah, I've done my best to save as many VODs as I can from the early days. Like I've got all the Soul Link videos or VODs knocking about somewhere. I've got my fighting only run. Although I made that into a YouTube video, so that can probably
Mm.
all go. I've just been way too ambitious in how much I'll be doing YouTube. Right, I spent. I don't know if you ever saw the video I ended up doing. I did a video of my fighting only Nuzlocke on Scarlet. I
No,
think
I
it
did
was.
not, but that sounds
Um,
amazing.
yeah, so it was not exactly the world's most exciting challenge, but something just it was more just exciting to do. So I spent probably about 100 hours making the video, and I was like, "Do you know what? I don't think I can do this every time, but I don't want to put out stuff that I don't like, for sure. So it's a lot of effort this editing stuff, isn't
Hmm.
it?
It is. I agree. um, let me open my list back up so we can move on to another set of questions.
Mm.
So my next question is, if you're comfortable with it, what do you think the best moment in your life has been?
The best. What? Sorry.
The best like moment that your life has been? Like,
Oh, best moment in my life. Hard to say. I my most fond memory, certainly recent memory, was my hole in one, which is going to sound so golf pro-y and everything else, and I promise I'm not just a golf pro in real life, but it's more that. So my dad and I have played golf. He basically golf was his one big passion. He was incredibly good at it, and he's always
mm-hmm,
wanted me to get into it. And so we're on a holiday together. It was just the two of us. He called it in the air, and it was such a special moment because I'd one of my siblings had got a hole in one when they were very young,
mm-hmm.
and so had that over me for 20 odd years. So to finally sort of get one of my own, with my dad to be there to share the moment, it was a
Yeah,
really special moment. So I
it's
would
really
say
nice.
that's for sure one. I think I've got a few where one of them was doing the best man speech, 2 weeks, like 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Um, which is obviously very very recent, but it's odd seeing a bloke that at university get married and have all these adults around and have to do a
Mm-hmm.
speech and everything else, and be like, I know some terrible things about you, but I cannot say them. But that was certainly a really special one as well, because it's
Yeah.
nice when someone makes that gesture to you and said, on the most important day and happiest day of my life, I want you there next to me, and it was very touching for sure.
Yeah. That's really
So
nice.
there's two,
On that same
not traditional
vein,
ones.
my best friends from middle school and high school, basically since like elementary school, they got married this past April.
Oh, nice.
And so Lawrence and I were in their wedding, and I don't know, it was a really good day for me. The rest of that trip, not so much, but that day specifically was great.
We hang on to that day memory.
I I love it. I love your like outlook on your best man speech. That's really sweet.
I mean, hey, the father of the groom came up at the end and said, "Thank you for going easy on him." So I was like, "Don't you worry, mate. I wouldn't do anything," because I think everyone assumes that if you're the best man, you've got to just humiliate the dude. And it's like, well, it's not strictly speaking the point.
Yeah.
It's more just it's a celebration of them. Obviously, you have a few jokes at their expense, but you don't have to just go and humiliate the guy for no real reason, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So. No, I spent a long time on the speech as well because he was um, the first one of our sort of major friendship group to get married.
Mm.
So we were all figuring out for the first time basically how it went to the plan of the stag. It's like everyone was like, "Oh, we're going to Vegas." It's like no, because whilst I'd love to go to Vegas, I don't think necessarily it's for him.
Yeah.
And reframing it so you're not thinking about what would be a good fun party. It's more like, well, what would
What
he
do
want
they
to
want to
do?
do? What is?
Exactly that. But yeah, so recent but very happy memories of late. So I've been very lucky in the last month or so.
Yeah, that's really
How about
nice.
you?
Oh, me?
Mm.
Well, I had some really good times recently at for my classes. I teach dance and to like little ins right now.
Oh, very nice.
And my one of the classes that I was given, because the old teacher, got a new job, so she moved out of state, and so with
Yeah.
like barely any notice, um, and so I volunteered to take over her class on Wednesday nights, her two classes on
Yeah.
Wednesday nights. These classes are ballet focused. I am not a ballet
Mhm.
dancer. Um, I am a tap dancer through and through.
Mhm.
I can do
Love a
that
tap
easy.
dance.
And I can do every other form of dance really, um, except for ballet's not my strongest, and I know it's not my strongest, but I was like, I can't let these kids down. I
Mm.
can't. And Shuffle to Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. Exactly. Buffaloes are my favorite. I love those. But
We're back on Tauros.
we're back on to us. But yeah, I was like, I can't let these kids down. Mom,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this for my kids.
there's a dance not happening.
Yeah,
I gotta
there
edit this out of the podcast now, but
Don't you dare.
let me find you.
YouTube needs to see this.
do your little dance.
You're on YouTube, guys. Got it.
Nice,
This is
wonderful,
about
amazing.
as much
Okay,
this is about as much as I can offer.
thank you. But
I'm a robot specialist. What can I say?
what was I saying? I got distracted. Wow, I
You're
love having ADHD.
taking over a
Oh, thank you so much.
ballet class.
So yeah, I am taking over a combo ballet and tap class, which I was like, I can do that easy peasy. I'm already teaching that like kind of class easy. And I'm also taking over a ballet one class. I was terrified going
Yeah.
into these classes. And I every single night, like for like a month, I came home to like in tears because I was like, I'm a terrible teacher. They're not listening to me. They have no structure. They've never had structure in this class. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm being like just dragged around and like I can't do it. And then like Lawrence, the sweet man he is, he's like, no, you're a great teacher. And I'm like, I love you so much, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But sometimes whenever like you hear things from like your partner, you're like, are you saying that because like you're trying to make me feel better, or are you saying that because it's true? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like sucks.
I know you're biased, but am I actually beautiful tonight?
Exactly. And yeah, they're little. They're like little ittle. They are 4 and 5 is the class that specifically I was having so much grief with. Because like they had no structure. That whole class never had anything. And the person who owns the dance company that I teach for came to watch my classes recently, and she said to me, quote, "You are doing so much better than the other teacher did, and it seems like they are actually learning something from you." And the way I cried like a little child in that parking lot when she told me that, it was
That's so cute.
it was honestly, that's like the highlight right now. that, and Lauren said that we could decorate for Christmas. So we have we have a tree. We haven't decorated yet because our ornaments are not in. Or baubles. Sorry, our baubles are not in.
Ornaments, baubles, it's all good.
But we decorated our cabinets. I got my childhood wreath from my grandparents' old house. So that's hanging up in my living room right now. I'm having so much like holiday cheer currently, just without I do not want to hear any Christmas music. That's it. That's it. I've been hearing it since like October. I can't do it anymore.
And I don't want to be that guy, but that is your own fault.
It is my fault.
This is the thing. This is why I don't acknowledge Christmas until the 1st of December, because then I can listen to Christmas music all the time whilst it's actually Christmas and don't get bored of it.
I just think like there needs to be more music in the market. You know?
Fair.
Like
I think also
I can't
there's
keep
no
listening
good
to
modern
the
Christmas
same
music as
song
well.
with different covers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't think of a single good modern Christmas song. I say modern in inverted commas, but it was sort of. I'm just trying to think of any good Christmas song that came out in the last 2 years, or 3 years even. I couldn't name you one.
There
all
are
the best ones are classics.
There are a couple of Christmas songs from K-pop that came out.
Okay.
But they're
Yeah,
not really like
Venice,
Christmas songs, they're more
so I
like
trust you.
winter songs. So
Yeah. Have we moved past the era of cheesy Christmas songs?
I don't
hope
think
not,
so.
Because
Maybe we have.
I hope not. Because I like Christmas. I like Christmas cheese.
Cheese.
Speaking of, what's your favourite Christmas film?
Okay. So, here's the thing. Is that it's not
Okay,
a
this is
Christmas film at all.
Okay.
I'm not going to say Die Hard. It's not Die Hard. It's
That
not
is
a
a Christmas film.
It's not a Christmas film at all. But my family used to watch A New Hope almost every Christmas.
That is a great Christmas film.
So, and we also have another like tradition that Christmas Evil, that's what it is. Thank you so much, Anna. I was trying to think of what song that was. And Lord of the Rings. We did also watch Lord of the Rings. If we got bored
Yeah,
of.
it's weirdly Christmassy, that, isn't it? I don't know why, but everyone seems to watch it around Christmas.
But we would also, because my grandmother, the first time that we were over at her house for Christmas, not the first time, one of the times, we were really little, me and my brother, and we woke up really early to open our Christmas presents, and my grandmother was the only one awake. And she was like, oh, well, I have nothing to feed you guys for breakfast, because I definitely thought you guys were going to sleep in. And we're like, no, it's Christmas. We're awoken.
Yeah, so what do you think?
And so she got some crinkle cut fries out of the freezer and made us Christmas French fries. And so now every
Love
year,
that.
I have Christmas French fries.
That is a good tradition. Those are the best ones. They're like very personal and often inexplicable ones.
And I remembered to actually get them this year because last year I didn't get to have them. That's the only year really that I have never had Christmas French fries, except for when I couldn't eat solid food. But I totally forgot to have them last year because I had just moved in to live with my boyfriend, and there was just so many emotions about moving in and being together.
Yeah.
That I totally forgot. So,
Fair.
what about you? Like, do you have any like fun like little holiday things that you do?
Love Actually on Christmas Eve. That my parents rebel against every year, and my siblings and I are like, nope, it's going on. Is it any good? No, but we love it, so it's staying. I think that's the thing. You're allowed to like junk, provided you acknowledge that it's junk.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So as long as you're self-aware, if you're watching the Kardashians, which I wouldn't dream of, but if you are, as long as you know it's a waste of time, you're allowed to watch it. Do you know?
Yeah.
I have that. My one sort of guilty pleasure is Love Is Blind on Netflix.
Oh, me too. Oh,
So,
Whistler.
I hate.
Oh.
I hate sappy stuff. I hate reality TV. I hate all of that. But Love Is Blind for some reason makes a cut.
Oh. Oh, we have so much to talk about, Whistler.
Well, if you said anything else in the rest of the podcast, guys, think again.
Yeah. We're turning into a Love Is Blind podcast.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Wow. I love knowing this. This is amazing. Because Lawrence and I love that show.
It's so not me as well, which makes it even weirder. It's like there's no. If you said to any of my friends or family, would Whistler like Love Is Blind? They'd probably say who's Whistler, because obviously. But but they'd be like, no, not even slightly. So yeah, it's a very surprising one.
Wow. I love this. See, this is what I mean, that like I wanted to get to know you more. This is the kind of information I wanted.
This is the important stuff. Now we're going to the meat of it.
But moving to some slightly heavier topics. What, if you're comfortable sharing, what do you think is like the worst moment that you've had in your life?
I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily there's a. I don't know if there's one specific moment, rather than I've just had bad periods. Of just a series of things going wrong. I think so. No, I've got I've had severe depression for a number of years. I never talk about it because it's not really what my channel's for. But so I wouldn't say I've had specific moments. I've been like, you know what, this is pants. But it's just been a period of time. You know what I mean? Where there's been like, oh, you know what, life's not great at the moment. But we all have those, right? So. I'm kind of not really answering the question of it, I'm afraid, but I haven't really got one sort of clanger of a moment that I'm like, oh god, everything sucks, which I suppose is a blessing in some ways.
Yeah. I totally get it.
I tell you, trying to clear this train track, actually, that's doing my head in. Let's throw that as my.
Do you want some help?
Let's throw that as my.
I can come help you.
my option. Because I've given up the train track. I'm like, do you know what? I'm doing the mine. I'm doing the pretty walls and everything else.
I'll
can't
continue
handle the
with
train track anymore.
I'll continue with the sheriff's office, but
I just can't handle the train track anymore.
it's okay. We can come back to the train track. There's no rush. It's okay.
We'll get there. Because whenever you think it's done, it keeps going. Oh, actually, do you know what? I'm going to start at the end. I've decided. I'm going to... Right. You carry on. The rest of it's yours as far as I'm concerned. I'm getting this track done.
All right. Noted.
That's my little mission to myself now.
It's a good what's the word? Thing. My
Yeah,
brain.
I tend to diffuse things with humour. You may have noticed that.
Yeah, me too. It's okay. I get it. But yeah. So Are you like comfortable like talking about like your depression and
Yeah,
things, or
yeah, sure. I mean, you know,
like I know you
it's an
said that's
interesting.
like not what your channel's about, but it's definitely what mine is. So
Yes, for sure. Well, again, I knew that when I said that it'd be a pleasure to join the podcast because I know it's one of the big things, or one of the big points of it is to sort of discuss this kind of stuff. I think, look, from my perspective, I've never really understood why um, loads of people seem to sort of shout about all this kind of stuff, and it's like it's good for you if you want to, of course, but it's more like I've never viewed it as anything of interest to anyone else. It's just like, outside of obviously significant others and family and stuff. But for example, like streams, I know that some streamers will talk about their various diagnoses all the time. Some people won't. I'm just one of those in the latter camp where it's just like I don't know necessarily if it's I just don't like the idea that it's I want to define myself in that light, or whether it's like whether it's who you're attracted to, or what your or what your diagnoses are, what your pronouns are. All of these things are amazingly important, but I just I always make an effort to keep my channel quite separate. I'm sure people who watch me regularly will know that I never talk about the social, political, or religious stuff, just because it's just I don't see the given the let's call it given the tumultuous nature of the internet. Generally speaking, it's a lot less risky when you just keep that kind of stuff back.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I'm
but
very
yeah, I'm happy to
open
talk
with
about it,
a
if
lot
you like.
of like my things, but there's still a lot of things that I prefer to keep quiet. Oh my god, my son!
Because obviously I'm hearing the audio in real time, and then I'm seeing the stream like a few seconds delayed. So you'll be like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "What?" Oh, it's the cat. Okay.
He almost turned off everything. Whoa. Anyway.
You're still here. You're still broadcasting. So you're all
Yeah,
good.
we're still okay. We're all right.
Absolutely.
My goodness. But yeah, I'm very open about like things and things in my life, but I still keep like quite a bit of it like separate. Like
Yeah.
like Joy's not even like my like real name and things, and like I wanted to keep that separate.
Well, same with Whistler. Otherwise, I'd have a I'd be doxing myself incredibly if you had a name as unique as Whistler, and we're like, "Yep, I'm gonna run with it."
What do you mean?
At least you chose an
Whistler
actual name
is
for
not
yours.
your
I'm like,
whole
nope.
name? That's
No,
not
I
your
do know a
first and your
Joy,
last name?
and obviously Nurse Joy helps as well.
Yes. Miss
Um,
Fish, that's me.
But also, it's something you bring to everyone who watches, which is always not to be underestimated for sure. I think it's one of the things that first sort of, we were going back to something we spoke about earlier that Grant and I made a big point when we did the Soul Link. Thank God that's done, right? We made a point of trying to raid people who were new or doing something similar. But actually, I think it says a lot about you. We may have raided sort of 20 or 30 different people, but you're one we consistently come back to. And again, that's why I say don't underestimate. I know it's easy to pin things on a specific raid, but it's all kind of things that means people come back. Right? Ultimately, it's you, it's the community you create, it's the vibe you set, the tone you are. For sure, like no one's responsible for their entire community, but I think it's the culture of the community is certainly down to the streamer, and that's a big part of why we keep coming back, and I guess why we're here today. So again, don't sell yourself short.
Thanks, man. I will cry after stream. Whistler's full name is
sounds
Lord
good.
Whistler Wislington of the Risling clan. I'm gonna end.
I am.
I'm gonna end with that.
I am Lord Whistler Wislington, with Wellington boots being the optional extra.
I love it. I love it. Whistler prefers to be risque, apparently. Do you prefer to be risque?
I would say that I describe my channel as safe but not appropriate for everyone. So I'd say it's appropriate so it's safe for everybody. There's never going to be any hard topics. No one's going to sort of be blatantly rude to someone, and I'm just going to sit there and do nothing about it. But I wouldn't say I'm just particularly rude either, because there's definitely way too many channels that are just like, oh, I discovered a swear word. Let's swear all the time because that's funny. Yeah. Which I'm not. I do swear a few times, but then that's also just because it's me and I swear a bit, you know. So I do have a bone redeem, but in fairness, that's a quote. But yeah, that's a very valid point.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of innuendo.
I decided for my streams like forever ago that like I'm gonna try and be. Oh my goodness, my son, my son, my son, my son.
Behave, please.
Okay. Sorry. I decided for for my streams that I was just going to keep as PG as possible, and but I still wanted to keep like that window open of if you guys want to talk about something, then we can talk about it. That's why currently I'm playing Spiritfarer, which is such a rough game. It is so cozy, so wonderful, so nice, but it goes through a lot of like your grief and your grief processes, and
yeah.
Dirk, please, baby, I beg of you, this is not cool.
Well, you called him a daddy's boy earlier. He's proving you wrong.
He is. It's because his dad isn't home. That's why. He's probably like, where's dad? Make him come home.
Son, love me, please.
Where's Felicia? She's right here. She's screaming at me. I don't know what they're on. I gave them food like earlier, like right before stream, so I don't know what they're on.
Shocking twist cats are being needy.
Yeah. Well, usually like they aren't. Usually it's just him. Not Felicia.
How long have you had them?
I have actually. They're not my cats. Now they are my cats. They're not my cats. They're Lawrence's cats, and they are. Dirk is 10 and Felicia is 9.
Okay, nice.
Dirk officially turned 10 like just recently, so.
No. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they're my step cats technically, but they are my cats.
Step cats.
They are my babies.
No, that's very cute. No, I think look, I think I'm gonna have kids but not pets. I think, but inevitably, I've been reliably informed that having one often brings the other. Because yeah, I think like I've been trying my best with some of my relatives have dogs, and I love them, but they're a little bit like babies at the moment in that I love playing with them, but then want to give them back.
Yeah, that's exactly
you know what I mean?
how I feel about children.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's so cute. I'd love to play with your baby for about half an hour, and then when I'm bored, right, you can have your baby back now.
You can have your baby back, please. I don't want to be around it, actually.
Yeah, it's like I can't handle it anymore. Leave me alone.
Yeah, kids love pets. As
for sure.
I have recently discovered, because so I ask a question of the day for my kids every week. My kids, as in my my students I teach.
Yeah, your classes. Yeah.
I ask a question of the day every single day. We sit in a circle, and we talk about our question of the day, and then we go dance. Right? It's like helps like me be more of like a person rather than a teacher to them. The question that I asked this week was, what is the present you're most excited to get this winter holiday? And most of them said a puppy. If not all of them said a puppy.
Pretty much, yeah. Puppy. And then the wealthy ones will say pony.
Or if you're from the south, you'll get a horse no matter what. So.
Yeah, I suppose it's different.
Hey!
Yeah.
No! No! That's it. He's getting locked out.
Oh, bless him. As you say, Anna, it's like, kids know you online. They're gonna have a party. Someone's in trouble.
I love having a 10-year-old toddler.
Yeah. That's totally fair.
Anyway, we talked a little bit about like your favorite memories and things, but do you have any others that you would like to talk about other than the one with your dad and the one with your homie?
First job I think is always a good one. When you get your first paycheck and you're like, I'm an adult. That's always a fun one. Sorry for the cough. Yeah, COVID. But yeah, I've got a fond memory of that, and then just spending about 30% of it on a huge night out with my mates, and then being like, I am the stupidest person ever.
Well, like, what else is a job for other than to pay for dinner and like stuff for your homies?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it wasn't really a dinner either. It was just a huge night out, which made it even more stupid. It's one of those where you're like, oh, let's go for one, and then before you know it, bam, 4:00 in the morning. Where did this happen? How did this happen? Outrageous. But yeah, it was a really fun time. That I think there's loads of them, right? Like well, the first time I met my mates in real life, the uni guys, because we all met via on the Facebook group chat, which kind of dates my university experience, given the fact that people were still using Facebook. And so there was like a couple of people I'd sort of met through there, been like, oh, it'd be nice to hang out when we get to our university, and be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, let's do that. And then actually those are my very same friends that I still have now. So meeting them was pretty special.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm sure they'd cringe at me saying that, but they're probably not listening, so we should be okay.
No, I'm clipping and sending them. I don't even know who they are, but I'm sending it to them.
No, exactly. Yeah, just put it everywhere. The odds are someone will see it. I think I've done the track.
Did it?
I think the track is done, but I don't know.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm scared. I was right. If you want a best gamer moment of the year, this is it. Me firing water up in the air like the environmentally unfriendly chap that I am, having celebrated, cleaned a mining tunnel.
I think you're winning.
Yeah, mate. I tell you what, this is life, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you know you've won. Woo!
I love it.
I'm way too into this game now. I blame you for this.
I am so glad. That's another goal that I have with this podcast series, is getting people into this game because it's one of my favorite games.
It was definitely one that when obviously because you've had a few of my pals on too, our mutual pals. When sort of I'll see people playing it, being like, I don't get the appeal, and then as if by not the computer's listening to us or anything, but then YouTube started kicking in with his YouTube shorts of this dude who goes around and just cleans people's lawns for free, and it just shows the 60-second clip of everything being cleaned. I'm like, oh, that's quite satisfying actually. And then I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm excited. And the second that I cleaned that cactus today, I'm like, do you know what?
I'm in it.
I'm in. I get it. How did you first find the game?
So I first found it whenever because I'm really into like sim kind of like games like this, and I was scrolling through the Steam page and I was like, wow, look at all these wonderful sim games. And then I clicked Farming Simulator because Farming Simulator just speaks to me. I don't know why, it just does.
Yeah.
And I was like, what other games are like Farming Simulator? And this was in the recommended. And I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
That is awesome. I mean, that's the way these things tend to start, right? For me, I've one of my favorite ones was. Did you ever play Operation Genesis as a kid? A Jurassic Park game.
No.
Where basically you build your own Jurassic Park, and obviously
that's
they've now
really
got
cool.
a much more modern and updated version of it. But it was one that was it was one that was like a PS2 game. The graphics are horrendous, but I just got so lost into it. And then when I was strong, because again, I've become much more into gaming as a result of starting streaming than the other way round, which I think is the wrong way round based on everyone else's experiences. But yeah, and then I saw there was a new version of the game, and oh my goodness me, well, I'm going to have to buy this and play this religiously, aren't I? And you rest assured that I have.
That's wonderful. There is a speaking of games like that, there is a specific Wii game that I had as a kid. That is like Disney Princess Enchanted Adventures or something like that. And then I saw that it is on Steam for an exorbitant price, first of all. Why is this silly little Wii game meant for children $30?
Oh, that's how they get you.
So every time that it goes on sale, I'm like, should I get it? Should I get it?
What's just in case someone from Steam is listening? What's the lowest? At what price point, if they offered it, would you be like, yeah, okay? So
$7.
You start on 30. Okay, $7. Okay, $8.
No,
You wouldn't do 8.
no, 7.
Fair.
Because
I
I
love how
know
specific that
how
is.
much gameplay is actually in the game. So
I gotcha. So you got a leg up on the market.
yeah.
I love that.
But that game in particular, I saw it was on Steam, and I was like, I'm gonna get this game. I know I'm gonna get this game eventually. It was just, it's so, I don't know what it is about it. It gives me that sense of, what's the word?
Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I've got a few games on that for sure. There's so many games I love that I'm looking forward to. I will say actually, because obviously Game Awards were yesterday, and there's a new Jurassic Park game that's coming out, and I'm like, oh, this might make me restart playing my Operation Genesis again.
Ooh, fun. Speaking of
I love that game.
The Game Awards, the Game Awards came out with so you watched the whole thing, right?
I saw some of the trailers as highlights on YouTube.
Okay, cool, great. So one of my brother and I's favorite games is coming out with a remake, and it's Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I love that game so much. Let me try to sell everybody on it right now. So you guys
this is your moment.
You guys can play the remake. So you play as these two brothers, and it is a wonderful story about siblings and like brotherhood and caring for your younger sibling and looking after your older sibling, and it's so beautifully crafted. It's a beautifully crafted story, and your heart will be ripped out of your chest by the end of it.
I kind of like that.
That's it.
Yeah, I love I'm very much a story-based gamer. Like I need to care. There's only so much mindless shooting that I can do before I'm like, okay, this is just same. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I
So proud of that run and jump, by the way. I don't know if you clocked that.
Oh no, I didn't. I ran away to go look at a cactus.
I just
I
ran and
missed
jumped
your
and cleaned
gamer
that rock face.
moment. I'm so sorry.
That would have been my gamer moment as well, but oh well, it's fine.
Ugh,
Oh, didn't quite get it done that time, but
man.
no, this one here is now clean because of the my epic moments.
I'm
that
so proud of you.
will never be clipped. Oh,
Will never
you're
be
too
clipped.
kind.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
Do you know what? It's okay.
I do have a couple of questions, or like one more
Mm.
question as we get start to wrap this up.
Mm.
But if you, okay, this is a two-part question. So, if you were able to go back in time, A,
Yeah.
would you? And B, what would you tell yourself? You can only go back in time in your own lifetime.
Okay. Oh, so the question is, so rather than time travel full stop, it's
Yeah.
if you go back to see yourself, when are you going to see yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah. And like, what would you tell yourself?
What would I tell myself? It's a very good question.
It's a real thinker.
It is. I would go back in time. I don't know when I would, because initially, so I studied ancient history. My passion is history. I love it so much. So initially the question I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a bit of me, for sure. But if it's just myself, I'm not sure. I'd go back. I'd go back to. I'll go back to uni me and probably be like, take it easy on the booze and the food. To be totally honest, because there was like, second year of university, I put on 4 stone, so it was like I was a really in shape, built. If I say to myself, jock, like I was a very attractive man. And
You still are,
throw it all
Mr.
away.
Rizzler. Don't
Oh.
sell yourself short.
Let's rein that in. You're too kind, my friend. But it's a just on the base. I didn't really answer the depression question. That's my deep answer for you. That's mine. It's like, I think I let myself go a little bit, and I was like, you know, you can be fun. You can still be a lad, but sort of don't be crazy with it. And I was, so. No regrets in terms of the fun I had, though. My God,
Yeah.
it was amazing. I had the best time, but probably could have done with being a little bit more sensible at the risk of sounding like my mum. How about you?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I've been thinking on this like since I asked like Blue and stuff. I'm not entirely sure. Because I think that I don't know. Like, I think I would like go back in time, and because I said this during Blue's podcast as well, but I think I would go back and tell little baby Joy, who is struggling in all of her like classes and things, and like struggling to pay attention and getting frustrated with herself, especially in the sense of like forgetting things, or like my object permanence is so bad. I would just go and tell her, be like, hey man, you got some silly little brain waves in your head.
Yeah.
And I don't entirely know if it's ADHD, but it's definitely up there with something.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I think the other thing would be to go to middle school or high school, little Joy, and be like,
Yeah.
hey, so all of this talk about like sexual attraction and how you're so confused and you don't understand what's going on. That's because you're asexual and you don't need to try and understand it. And I think that would have saved so much like inner turmoil for myself. Because like most asexuals, I had the experience of being like, am I broken? And is something in my brain not correct? How come I don't experience all these things that other people say that they do? Yeah, I think that would be my thing.
No, well, that's a very, very, very mature answer. I think as well is there's definitely society cares way too much who about that kind of stuff, to be honest. So I mean that's the thing. Like so many of these sort of decisions and feelings people like kids are expected just to have and know and it's talked about more in a good way for sure, but also there are times where it's like it's a bit there's so much of it going on, it then adds a pressure to it. I think possibly
there is kind of that pressure to label yourself that I do
for sure
I do understand.
And actually not everyone needs to. It's like it's not a it's you know it's you know, and I guess this just goes back down to me and how I view life, and I appreciate I'm a very lucky man, I guess, because I've known who I am since day one, so I've you know I don't take that for granted when I say this, but I think again if people weren't so you know, if it weren't such a debate and talking point and there was so much hostility around the subject, actually if everyone could just be themselves and there'd be no dramas and there wouldn't be pressure on people to jump into certain categories and there wouldn't be pressure to do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not articulating my point very well, but it's more like I think a lot of these conversations come because people are so obsessed with it and they don't need to be. It's fine. Doesn't matter. You know, obviously it doesn't
deserve to be the people that they want to be, and if that part of like your worldview like is shattered from that, then get a new worldview. Easy, simple.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I always struggle to articulate that because however you say it, it's not necessarily that I'm trying not to avoid offend anyone. It's more just trying to explain it in the right way is difficult to do because it's very personal and important to people, and I get that. I don't want to undermine that. I'm just saying, as a society, we can all do with just maybe turning it down a notch on that front and being like, you know what, it's a big point, but let's not spend our entire lives arguing about it on Twitter and what, frankly, it's nothing else to do with anyone.
Exactly. It's one person and what they choose to do with their lives, so it doesn't really need to have anybody else be weighed in on, you know?
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing, is as long as if everyone's loved and safe and consenting, do what you like.
Exactly.
You know, and that's all the conversation ever needs to be. And so yeah, I don't know. I as somebody sort of buries my head in the sand a little bit with this, and I'll be honest. When people sort of generally start talking about it, I'm sort of like, it's not. I don't necessarily. I just don't know what to say a lot of the time. So it's like, I'm much more interested in like, what's your favorite film, or like, what sport do you play, or that kind of stuff. Much more than necessarily who do you fancy.
Exactly.
You know? But then I'm quite an old school, boring old man, so maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I think
quite preachy. Sorry about that.
I think that like for like me being ace and me coming out as asexual, me being like, hey, I don't experience sexual attraction. Yeah. That was such a big contention. For why?
Yeah, indeed.
For why? Because, like, I don't know. I like, I don't know. I don't know why it needed to be
Well,
such
that's
a
the
big
thing, right?
contention.
There's so much pressure will have been put on. There's so much pressure put on like people like you to have I need to come out as this because there's so much pressure from society and all this kind of stuff. It's like if everyone just chilled out a bit, there'd be no. You'd be like, yeah, I'm asexual, and everyone would be like, cool, and it
Cool,
wouldn't be
great.
It's like, cool. What film are we watching? You know? But then as I said, I don't take for granted that I've not had to be in a position where I've had to come out to anybody
Mm.
because I'm just a heterosexual dude, so I've not had that pressure. So again, I don't say this with a view of undermining anything like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's more saying I just wish we all just didn't need to worry about it so much, and it didn't create so much pressure on people,
Yeah.
especially kids. You know, it's like, there's no need to, yeah, no need to put too much pressure on it. But then, as I said, I speak from a position of not having to have any pressure. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Again,
At
you
least
can see I'm
you-
trying to be really careful with how I say it because
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm trying to say at this point.
Yeah. I appreciate the fact that you acknowledge your place in this world.
That going back to sort of the conversation we were having around like what's like what like trying to just find out a bit more about me. I'm very much I'm very much a sort of a straight shooter with this kind of stuff. Like I never try and upset anybody, but it's more like this is how I feel. Let's talk about it. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like there's something not done with the fort, and I'm highlighting it, and I can't find any dirt on it. It's upsetting
Yeah, I'm like looking all over the floor up here. Oh, okay.
me. Oh, well, that's something. Obviously, it's my side that's upside down, but there we go.
The wall caps? What are they? Oh, these. Okay. Yes. Yes.
What is a wall cap? Can you show me what a wall cap is?
It is these.
Oh, splendid. Okay, so I'll endeavour to sort this one out. One thing I have noticed as well, the way that I speak means a lot of people just disregard most of my opinions immediately because I'm so posh sounding. They're like, "Oh, don't listen to him." I'm like, sorry.
I don't know. To me, like posh kind of accents seem like what's the word? Like I should be listening to you.
Attractive, handsome.
Well, yeah, but
Sexy. Am I hitting the right notes?
It
or-
feels like if you were a politician, I should be listening to you. You know, Whistler
awfully kind of
is
you.
my president currently.
Oh.
But maybe it's just because I grew up in Yeehaville. There it is. But
No, I love that. Well, to be fair, we could run the United Kingdom. I could be PM, and we established earlier that you're the Queen. So
Oh, wonderful! Thanks.
I've got. There we go. We got a little bit on this house here.
Am I not? Am I blind? The inner walls. Is this an inner wall? Is this the inner wall?
Oh, it's been saying 99% for so long. It stresses me out.
I know. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. We're almost done. I can see it. I can see the end.
Oh. But to be fair, the end of this means the end of the podcast. Which is sad.
Yeah.
Because I've genuinely,
Unfortunately.
I've again, this is certainly. I'm sure you won't mind me saying this is not my sort of usual cup of tea in terms of the game and the conversation talking point, but it really meant a lot that you asked me to come on. I do hope that I've done you justice and
Yeah.
covered what you wanted to cover. And yeah, it's certainly been a real privilege on my perspective that watching you grow and watching all your content. Yeah, get to a stage where I know you're increasingly happy with it and everything. I want Nikki on stream I want you guys doing a co-stream of a Soul Link, both on cams, getting really horribly competitive with each other. That's what I'm secretly hoping for.
Secretly
for
hoping. Well, Nikki has said recently that like once they move, they would like to do a cam stuff, like cam things.
That's how it starts.
So.
Oh
It's
no,
really
I'd love that.
exciting.
No, I really enjoy your Soul Links, much better than mine and Grant's. Because there's a lot of charm to yours for sure.
It's
And
really
hopefully-
just Nikki going full into it and me being like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "No, it's calculated." And I'm like, "I don't think it's calculated."
In fact, I mean, but one thing that was quite fun was that's what mine and Grant started off as, but actually, he's a very, very talented boy with his Nuzlocking now. Like he's you know, the days of sort of it being golden throw, I think, are definitely done. He says, who knows? I mean, Grant obviously going full time. Actually, you know, going back to what we were saying earlier, Grant going full time and everything around that, because I know obviously I appreciate I'm more privy to the behind the scenes stuff than maybe the average person, but no, I'm so proud of the guy. Okay, he's ever since we first met, right? I feel like he and I don't talk that much about our sort of first start, but he DM'd me basically when I was at about 180, 170 followers, and he was on 200, right? And he was like, I want to go full time with content creation. I quite like your vibes. Shall we do a Soul Link together? Sheriff sign.
We're so
Oh
close.
my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Good. The game's telling me to stop before I get too nice about Grant. But yeah, no, genuinely, he's ever since then he's sort of had it as his dream and his passion and stuff, and I couldn't be any prouder of him. Like I just think he's done so brilliantly, and I don't know if anyone people will know just how much effort he puts into his content. I mean, obviously you see when it comes through, and it looks so great and all that kind of stuff. But it's worth just, you know, in terms of happiest memories, like him hitting 1,000. Actually, us beating the Soul Link. That's got to be up there, I think. No, that was such a happy moment, actually. Because that's the thing, is like, however many Nuzlocke loads there will be and all this kind of stuff, there will never be another Soul Link. Like that was just, it was so special, you know. So, yeah. So
It was
eventually
special, like,
deviating back.
watching you guys.
Sorry?
It was definitely like special watching you guys, because you two definitely have like that sense of chemistry that like on camera and just like in general. I think that you two,
Oh, too
it
kind.
definitely like it's genuine, you know, whenever you
It
like,
is.
you're talking to each other and stuff. But
We do love that Grant guy. Oh,
I
That
can't
was
believe we
excellent.
did it. I'm very proud of us.
I'm
As
very
this
proud
is
of us.
playing,
how do I watch the replay?
oh well, so
Or is it only you?
unfortunately, I'm the only one who can watch the replay.
That's okay.
You could just like
I'm
pull up
thoroughly
stream to
enjoying-
look at it. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had your stream up all night. Don't you worry. So
but thank you so much
that's very satisfying.
for coming to hang out with me today. We ended right at 2 hours. Look at us.
I know. Not only was this charming and an honour for me, it was also bang on time.
Punctual.
I know.
But thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your insights. Next time we do one of these, we will be talking about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars the entire time. But
I'll be happy to do that on or off stream, my friends. I'll be happy to do that anytime. I think that's not going to go to
talk
itself,
about
is it?
Padme the on stream.
Oh, the deleted scene's best bit of Padme, and we never got to see him in theatre. Outrageous.
Oh, that scene is so good.
Oh. And some people don't even know. But no, seriously, it's been a real pleasure to be on, and certainly, as I said, it's not something I would normally have done, but you made me very comfortable, very easy. You're lovely to chat to, and I think you're going to do some amazing things on Twitch. So looking forward to watching this space and seeing watching your follower count start, and before you know it, we'll be at 10,000 and looking back being like, oh, do you remember this podcast?
Whoa. 10,000 is a big jump, but
well, no, but that's the thing. I think one of the things that we sort of that I've said to a few people is that, you know, when you think about the up and coming streamers, like, they've all had the same spark in common. You know, Jardigan, for example, I met when he was at 100 followers, and I knew he just had that really comforting, entertaining vibe, and was going to do amazing things. I think Whimsical Sage, who's quite new, I think is going to do some amazing things. I think you're going to be right with him. I really do.
Appreciate that.
So just keep smashing it, my friend.
Oh, thanks. I am remembering to give you a shout out in chat because I keep forgetting to for these kinds of things. But guys, again, if you do not follow Whistler, I totally recommend it. I think that his community is very wonderful, and all of the things that he does on his side of Twitch is top notch.
Rather good, yes.
But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everybody who is here, remember to go get yourself some water, get yourself a little snack, get you some things that you deserve to beat today, you know. Get up, stretch those leggies after the stream. I typically do not raid out during these streams just because it's so we need time to process. We don't need time to like go ham.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. What are the other things that I say? Take a break from your screens, because you guys we've been up for 2 hours, so that's a long time to be looking at a screen.
Oh, you would not be proud of me from COVID then. As I said, I've been 20 hours into Baldur's Gate in 4 days, so...
Oh, well, I hope that you invest in some blue light glasses.
Yeah, I need to find my glasses again, actually. I don't think I've actually shown my glasses on stream, so maybe that's something to do.
I agree. You guys are all humans before you are Twitch chatters and Twitch streamers first. Again, thank you, Whistler, for coming to hang out, and thank you for being so open with us. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate
thanks for having me.
Feeling safe and
feeling... Well, that's down to you, my friend.
Thank you. But yeah, guys, you will be seeing more of Whistler probably soon. Because the award show is coming. Yeah. The award shoot is coming, so...
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm very excited, and if I do, I'm going to nominate myself actually for best gamer moment. For that jump and Taka. No one's gonna know.
No one's gonna know.
We'll know. We'll know.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to see what Whistler does in the future too. Anyway, guys, I hope that you all have a really good day. I'm gonna get some hearts. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.